Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are not only doing a Titan guide, but we're also going to be summoning our very first Siegfried. We need just 2 more clan points. We got all 3 of our battles to do, so even if we're unlucky and only get 1 point per battle, we should have enough. Then we can summon this bad boy. But since I do typically like to wait for the water one, I'm waiting for that to die. Hopefully these dudes can do it. But yeah, while we're waiting there, we're going to go into some general tips to start, and then I'll go over each individual clan Titan and advise strategies for them. So as a general rule of thumb, you want your debuffers over here on the left side in your first team, and your damage dealers over here. So you want the defense down, the attack down, maybe even blind if you have it. Attack down isn't actually as important because you can also have an attack down over here and it'll still be applied on the boss. Defense down, however, is extremely important to have over here because then your attackers will take advantage of it. With that being said, you want obviously your attackers over here, your highest DPS units, because not only will they get to attack twice before they are attacked by the Titan, so if they're really squishy glass cannons that'll die in 1 or 2 hits, they will at least get to attack twice before they get hit. As far as healers go, I typically don't have a healer in my glass cannon side, so the left side, the team 2, because I feel it doesn't do that much and it lowers the damage, so I typically just have damage dealers here. If you have more tanky damage dealers, then a healer might be a good idea as well, just to keep both teams up front alive. Just personally, I don't do it. Most of the time, however, I do try and take a healer in the first team and down here as well. I know there's no healer in this example, but probably most of my other teams do have a healer, like Dark, for example, has Hannah here and Cupid up there. I may switch out the default to have Dark Venus down there for the Dark boss. But yeah, so those are like the general rules, the small rules that I think are good. And now we're going to be moving on to the individual Titans. We're going to start with the Fire Titan, talking about him a little bit. Can't really just focus on this little icon here. That's to represent that we're talking about the Fire Boss. The Fire Boss is kind of unique because of his stun. When he does his AoE, it stuns everyone, so unless your units have very high resist, the ones you're taking into the Fire Boss, I would recommend the best units actually for Fight 2. Your best units, though, shouldn't be too fragile, because here's the thing. With all Titans AoE, on the second fight, they don't do debuffs. So the Fire Titan will never ever stun your second team because his AoE just doesn't do debuffs. He'll stun the first team if they don't resist it. So again, unless they have very high resist, and most of them can resist the stun, I'd recommend putting your best actually in the second place. The Fire Titan also inflicts thirst with his normal attack, so you also want to keep in mind to have your important active skills in the second team and your non-important active skills in the first team, or rather the units you don't want them to get off their active. For example, Light Kilobat, I'm bringing him for his attack down and nothing else. When he does his AoE, it's 60% defense down, which I don't need because I typically have a Shelly in there. Don't know why he's not in there now. There you go. Same with Nightmare. Her active is completely useless for the Titan, so I have her in the first team with her defense down. 180% chance to defense down might be a little bit overkill, but in some cases I do like to try and make sure, I mean it's never sure, but make as sure as possible that he gets defense down. Last piece of advice I have, which you probably didn't know about, is to make sure to try and bring as many water Astromons to the Fire Titan as possible and as least wood Astromons, because of elemental advantage. So I think that's about it for the Fire Titan. Thirst, stun, kind of annoying. Thirst you can use in your advantage. Stun, you can't. We're going to be moving on to the Water Boss now. The Water Boss has Seal on its normal attack and attack down on its AoE, so unfortunately you can't avoid the Seal, which is a very annoying debuff, because it practically renders everyone as just damage dealers. Besides healers can still heal, but they won't give any special effects like a shield or a defense up buff or whatever. Keep in mind you can avoid Seal for 1 extra turn by putting anyone that has really important skills on the other side. So perhaps have your attack breakers on the right side team so they can try and get that attack down in there twice. I'm not too sure if it would be worth putting the defense breaker over on the side as well, because even though they may be able to get it off a second time, your attack team won't really benefit from it. I guess unless it's a really quick defense breaker, maybe like Shelly or so, and the rest have slow animations, but it's just something to think about. As far as attack down goes, the attack down will be placed on only the first fight, not the second fight, because he doesn't do the AoE debuff there. So if you know your attacking side will survive the AoE, then you may want to put your highest DPS while still being able to survive somehow down on the second team so they don't get debuffed with attack down. Keep in mind that the AoE in the second fight is actually does more damage, so that's something you have to keep in mind when deciding your team. I'm actually not too sure yet if the blessings the Titan gets from the first fight apply in the second fight, but if they do, that could be another reason why he'll be stronger. So if your first fight lasts a long time and he's getting like blessing after blessing, then your second fight could be in for a lot of trouble, or your second team. Moving on to the wood boss now. I don't fight the wood boss much because it does die very quickly, but as far as I remember, he has fatigue on his normal attack and sap on his AoE. Sap, of course, is annoying, especially if you have tanky units that can take a lot or have a lot of HP, so all those saps stacking on and on and on every single AoE can really do some damage. Sap, it's AoE, you can't really avoid it, even though I'm not sure if the difference in damage from the second fight would justify switching that around to make your best down here. I guess another sort of general rule of thumb, I guess, is to have all the units which have a higher resist up in the first fight, because his AoE on the second fight doesn't inflict any debuffs. That is kind of a lot to try and take care and make a good team out of, so I wouldn't make that a huge priority, except for the Fire Titan. I would really consider that because stun, you're just insta-locked and then you're probably dead next turn anyway, so stun is pretty bad unless you feel you're gonna die anyway. Besides that, of course, bring Fire Astromons, avoid water. Moving on to Light now, and this is the other one which I'm not completely sure. I know it used to have Seal on its active and attack down on its normal attack. For the Light boss, I basically recommend just following the general guidelines because attack down is annoying, but your attacker team is on the left side anyway, so they'll get those 2 attacks in before they're hit by the Titan and possibly inflicted with attack down. Again, in this situation, I'm not too sure if it's worth it to save your best for the second fight, because his AoE will do a lot more damage in the second fight. So basically for Light, I recommend just following the general guidelines to Titan battles. Moving on to Dark, it's basically the same story. He has silence on his normal attack, which can be annoying, but can also be kind of cool because, for example, 3 of my 4 starting Astromons here, Shelly, Kilobat, and Horan, I don't need their active, and in the case of Shelly and Kilobat, I don't want them to use their active. I want Shelly to keep defense breaking and I want Kilobat to keep attack break, so them getting silence is actually awesome. And as for my attacker side, it doesn't really matter. The 2 Snowies can heal the other team with their actives, but usually taking these glassy lights into a dark, they're all dead by like the second AoE anyway, so it doesn't really seem to matter. That's also sort of another topic, if you should actually bring light into dark and dark into light. And personally, I think you should, because Titans keep getting stronger with every single attack and every single blessing that they get, so I think it's better to get as much damage on them as possible, even if they will get killed faster. My team over here can usually survive the initial normal attack, so where they get silenced, and maybe 1 or 2 of them, if he is attack broken, can survive an AoE or 2, but the second AoE usually wipes him out. But before it does, there's a lot of damage in there. I can actually show you guys that when Dark Titan finally comes up. Defense break on the AoE, I'm sure about this one. On the Light boss, I'm not too sure, but on this one, I am sure he does defense down. And to be honest, it really doesn't matter if Nike is defense broken in this case. He would probably die by 2 AoEs anyway. I could play around with it and switch him down there instead of Light Mona, but for now, I don't think it'll make a huge difference, so this is how I'm keeping it. Besides that, I recommend just following the general guidelines for the Dark boss as well. So that's basically it for the Titan guide. Make sure to leave any questions you have about them in the comments below. I'm sure there may be something I skimmed over or skipped, so I'll do my best to answer them in the comments. And yeah, now we're just waiting for this damn water dude to die. I guess we could go in on the water boss since no one's in there right now, and I don't really want to wait. I do not know why this is my water team. I think something kind of went wrong there because I probably mistaked water for dark, because this would definitely be more of a dark team here with 13 light Astromons, and yet not a single wood. I mean, I don't have that many woods, but that's definitely not right. Alright, I believe the water boss is finally dead. We're gonna go check that out. Restarted my game to prevent crashes, because I was doing some Astromon Leagues and stuff while I was waiting. Yes. Alright, let's check it out. We're gonna go to our preset Dark team. Gonna go ahead and try swapping out my Hannah with... where are ya? Dark Venus. She's not Evo 3 yet, but she has some okay gyms equipped. They're only +9, but I believe they're all 6-star. Yeah. HP defense. Not the most impressive stuff ever, but I think it's good enough. We're gonna go ahead and go in. Bada bing, bada blip. Hope I didn't screw anything up. And hopefully we get 2 clan points, so we only have to go through 1 clan battle before we can get our Siegfried. Of course I do all 3 of my battles, but I didn't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. Make sure to target the Titan when you first enter. Yeah, that's good, so they don't accidentally attack the pillars around. So we got the attack down and the defense down. Good. Got the defense down and the attack down again. Shelly did his defense down because he was silenced. That's what I'm talking about. You can see my light damage over there. Pretty decent. Boom. And as you can also see, my light team, at least the glass cannons over there, don't survive very well. Unless he has the attack down, they didn't take too much damage because of that. Still has the attack down, getting pretty lucky with debuffs, but here comes the AoE. As you can see, even with attack down, both Jills are almost dead. My Nike isn't doing so well either. Defense down on that. Snowies are back at full health, but they're probably going to die now since we have no attack down. Yeah, see, that's how it goes. Now it's just the Cupid and the Horan left. They're going to do their thing for 1 more turn, and kazaboom. Oh, Horan's still alive. Go, Horan. Goodbye. Let's get that attack and defense down in. Defense down, attack down. Good, good, good. Ah, the 2-turn attack down because of Venus. Nice. Now, what's kind of unfortunate... Oh, well, actually, in the first team, it's not bad, her doing her active immediately. Because they do have a little bit of damage on them, maybe not enough for a normal healer to activate hers, but actually that's not so bad. Now they have the attack buff, light team getting attacked. But see, this is the case where I kind of don't like that, because they already had full health, they still have the attack buff, and I really would have rather had Venus to refresh the 2-turn attack down, but she didn't do that because... See, in some cases it might be better, but some cases I think it's better when she does it as a normal healer, you know? And now they're probably all dead, because of no attack down. Still did a nice chunk of damage there, even though I did die pretty quickly in that battle. 2.8 million's okay. I've only gotten, I think, 2 or 3 5-star chests for doing over 3 million, and even then it was pretty close. Look at that, we got 3 clan points, which is very rare. I almost... never get 3. I'm pretty unlucky with the clan points. Most of the guys in the guild already have theirs, their Siegfried summoned. Here we go. Please, 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 a fire one. Please, please, the fire one. Yes, this one. I'm looking at him. I'm going to check his skills. Ooh, that's a nice one. I'm not even going to look at the others. It's bad luck. I don't know. Yes, come on, come on. 800 clan points. 800 clan points. Here we go. Come on, please. Oh, it's going to be a 4-star. Ding, holy crap, what's it gonna be? It's gonna be a fire Siegfried, please, please. I mean, really, the water one. The water one's so bad. It's not that bad. No, it is bad. 2 saps for 1 turn, 80%, and seal for 1 turn. Ah. The wood one's not that bad. 80% AoE stun's pretty good. 60% 3-turn defense down is okay. But why the water one? Why? I'm not even going to touch him for 3 months, and then maybe I can get a wood one. I don't know. I'm salty. Salty, very salt. But I was expecting that, to be honest. Why not get the worst? Of course. I am Mogati. I am not Luckgati. I am... Well, never... It doesn't mean... I'm having a mental breakdown. 1 like equals 1 prayer for my soul. Leave a comment down below if you've summoned yours already. Hope you got the fire one, because I didn't. Or if you did get the fire one, maybe you took that away from me. Maybe there are only a limited number of fire ones, so thank you for that. Whatever, it is what it is. Maybe in another 3 months, we'll see. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Thanks guys, as always, for watching, and until next time.